Ya-dum-da, 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 da-dum-da. Feel like singing? I'll bet you do. Try this with me. Ya-dum-da, ya-da-da, na-da-da, ya-da-dum-da. Try that again. Da-dum-da, da-dum-da, da-da-da-da-da. Here's another one. Na-dum-da, ya-da-da, na-dum-da-da-da. Yeah. Da-da-da, da-da-da, na-da-da-da-da. Now, if I was in a room full of people, I'd have you doing this and I'd have you doing that, and then now I would be introducing the third part of this jubilation, ululation, which is the bedrock of Western music and actually worldwide music that provides attention and groundedness, and I'm talking about the drone. So those of you who feel like droning along, you go, ah. Nice big breath. Or you can go, ah. So now I'm going to have you doing all three parts in all of your various places, and I'm going to sing a little bit against you to fill this thing out. Okay, here you go. Last time, done, but what I've done, 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 done. Oh, wow. What a week. What a month. What a year. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty wrecked. I'm feeling relieved and happy, but I'm also feeling kind of wrecked. And there's a lot to sort through right now, and we got to take care of ourselves. You might notice I have these things on my face here, and I went to the dermatologist because of a mole, and he said, that's just an old mole, but look at those things on your face, and he goes, and suddenly I'm zapped, and I didn't have a chance to tell him, don't you realize I'm a Facebook celebrity, and now I have these big things on my face? But here I am, and I just want you to know that I'm taking care of myself, and I hope you are too. We've been doing yoga out under our 100-year-old maple tree, and we're so loath to go in. Right now, the weather's great, and so it's beautiful, but a couple weeks ago, we were actually looking a little bit off from our tarps where we had our mats and realized we were doing snoga. And we're going to continue that as long as we possibly can, because being outside under that tree is healing all in and of itself. But here's another thing, we've been, I don't know about you, but during the election count, about every 10 seconds, we were looking at our phones or listening to the radio or checking the TV. And I think right now there's a lot to pay attention to, but it's time for a little breather, a little rhythm. And so I wrote a few new words to this old gospel song that I thought would be appropriate to play tonight. You'll recognize the song, Call and Answer, and just a little bit of a twist. Instead of turn your radio on, it's turn your radio off. Hear the mighty pounding of your heartbeat. Feel the sweat breaking on your brow. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off. Calm your nervous system, it'll be sweet. It's so easy, you can do it now. You get in touch with peace, get in touch with peace. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, and listen to the birdies in the air. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, and heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low, turn your lights down low. Breathe deep and let that panic go. Get in touch with peace, get in touch with peace. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off. Not yet? Brother, listen into the sound of silence. Give your mind a rest for a day or two. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off. Get a little taste of the glory waiting when you take some time to just renew. Get in touch with peace, get in touch with peace. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, and listen to the birdies in the air. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, and heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low, turn your lights down low. Breathe deep and let that panic go. Get in touch with peace, get in touch with peace. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off. Not yet. Every minute brings another horror in a world that we cannot protect. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off. There's a point where too much information paralyzes all your will to act. Get in touch with peace, get in touch with peace. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, turn your radio off, and listen to the birdies in the air. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off, and heaven's glory share. Turn your lights down low, turn your lights down low. Breathe deep and let that panic go. Get in touch with peace, get in touch with peace. Turn your radio off, turn your radio off. Get in touch with peace. Turn your radio off. Turn your radio off. All right. Well, we didn't hear about this on the radio, but through one of our yoga buddies, although it was on the radio later, we actually had an earthquake the other day on top of everything else that's been going on Sunday morning, about 9 o'clock. We're sitting and having breakfast, and all of a sudden there was this big blam, and the doors shook, and I thought like a huge hawk had hit the side of the house or something, and went outside, and it was this beautiful, calm, sunny morning. And sure enough, Pam arrives to our yoga group, and she checked, I don't know, it's like earthquakes.com. She's tuned into that stuff, and it was a 3.6 earthquake about a little over 100 miles away off of New Bedford, Mass. And so it was kind of exciting to add to the mix, a little geologic craziness in with everything else. Well, if you were around a radio in the Midwest in 1975, basically yesterday, but 45 years ago, it's one of these, this thing happened, you would remember exactly where you were, what you were wearing, what was, when this announcement was made, because the Edmund Fitzgerald went down in Lake Superior, and in a gale, in the gales of November. And it was astounding to everybody. It was real hard to get our heads around the idea of a shipwreck in modern day America. It just wasn't something you thought about much anymore. And the word got around, and of course Gordon Lightfoot wrote the famous song about it, and the bodies were never found. And a few years later, Steve Dietz, a playwright, and Eric Peltonimi, a wonderful composer, got together and wrote a play called 10 November about this incredible story, this event that happened. And it ran for several years in repertory across America, and beautiful music, and just telling the story of these sailors on the ship, what life was like for them, trying to get our minds around that before the ship went down. And 30 years later, Prudence Johnson, one of the original three singers, there were these three singers who were kind of symbolized at one point. They call them the Three Sisters, the series of three waves in Lake Superior that take a big ship down in a storm, in a big gale. So Prudence got together with Eric, and they thought, well, we should do something in honor of the 30th anniversary. And so they did, and I got to be one of the three singers, along with Ruth McKenzie and Prudence, and Eric Peltonimi put a band together with Jeff Wilcom and Peter Ostrushko on mandolin and fiddle, and Steve Dietz gave us the permission to lift some of the text from the play, and Kevin Kling was the narrator, and we did this show. We did it several times in Minnesota. The next year, we took it into Wisconsin and Michigan, and then for 10 years, we didn't do anything with it. It kind of lay fallow, and then we got to do it again in St. Paul at the Fitzgerald Theater, same name, no relation, around Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you, to come together 10 years later, it just, we would sit and weep at rehearsals, you know? I mean, just the story, it's about a particular thing, but Eric's music carries this this emotional weight and depth, and it's about love and loss and the power of nature, after all. So, since we're here a day after the 45th anniversary of that wreck, I wanted to do a couple of things from it. The first is a song called "Crows," which is about getting, you know. Like I say, some of these songs were about what was going on inside the heads of these sailors, and a song about portents, and then a little bit of text. And then a wonderful song that Eric wrote. Of course, in this story, Lake Superior is the villain, but in this song, Lake Superior gets to stand up and speak in her own behalf. So Crows and then Lake Song. In the wee, wee hours, when unopened are the weeds, and sleep is lying heavier than dew, I shake off the crows from my wakening field. Every time my heart is dark and deep. Oh, when I was a rover and was graceful in my step, skipping like a stone across the sea, and I didn't fear nobody, and I traversed all the night. I bore everything with calm and courtesy. Fitzgerald loaded her last cargo at the Burlington Northern Railroad dock, number 1 East in Superior, Wisconsin, on 9 November 1975. The first cook, 28, reported his ulcer had not improved. He was replaced for this trip by a temporary cook, 62. There were no unusual incidents or occurrences. Cadet 22 is one trip away from completing the 270 sailing days required by the Great Lakes Maritime Academy. This appeared to be a routine loading and departure. The captain, 60, the assistant first engineer, 47, were making their last trips before retirement. On the shores of Lake Superior, it was Indian summer. So I wear the shadow of the darkness like a cloak, and I throw it from my shoulders to the wind, and I watch it sail away, so very far away, till evening and the crows are back again. they call me Lake Superior and many other names. They say my gain will be your loss. I'd steal anything from a little wedding ring to splinters of the one true holy cross. Splinters of the one true holy cross. They say I'd steal the baby from your arms, a thing of beauty from your eyes. And all I've ever wanted was to crash around and sing these things they tell about me all our lives. Things they tell about me all our lives. Out here on the water, the night is dark and deep. The stars are lost unto the sky. The wind is getting strong and the moon is nearly gone. That once did shine in Lake Superior's eye. Once did shine in Lake Superior's eye. Against the bitter night, a bow light's glowing red, coloring the blowing snow around. And wrapped up in their weather skins, their hats upon their heads, you can hear the sailors sing this song. You can hear the sailors sing this song. Lake song from the gales of November. Well, there is a lot to feel hopeful about right now, and excited about, and trepidatious about, and we're still in the middle of the pandemic, and we still have a long way to go with that. But I wanted to wind up tonight's musicale with a couple of things in honor of what may lie ahead for us. When I was in South Africa several years ago, I was sitting with these women from Hamburg, South Africa. They were a group of women who had been part of an art project called the Keiskamer Art Project, and they had learned this kind of embroidery. They'd been brought together by a doctor who came to Hamburg, a medical doctor who opened a clinic, but also a doctor of fine arts who started this art project. And the women were selling these pieces that they made, and they were making these beautiful triptychs that told the story of their lives of struggle and of fighting AIDS and poverty, which traveled to churches all over the world to help bring attention and money to the AIDS crisis. And so I was with my friend Bliss, and these women had already overcome incredible obstacles to become more empowered than they'd ever been in their lives. They got to come together. They learned a skill. They were making money. And so I got to sit in on a session that my friend Bliss had with them about, what do we do next? Where do we go now? And they were so animated and fun. And I was just sitting there quietly in the corner with my dulcimer, trying to be useful musically, which was kind of the saga of my whole trip to South Africa. And I was just listening to the talking, the burble of speaking, and the spontaneous breaking out into song, and they were drawing pictures, and they used as their central picture this beautiful tree with a big red heart in the middle of it that an artist who had come through Hamburg had built on the side of the clinic. So they took this image, and they were writing things and hanging things in the tree. It sort of became this tree of hope and expectation and vision. And I started making up this little song with different parts in it because there were all these different elements going on in the room. During a break, I got together, I kind of shyly went up to the women, I said, I kind of wrote something, can I play it for you and show you the parts? And I did, and they were so excited, they learned it immediately. The next morning, I was trying to remember how it went, and they showed me, they already had it in their molecules, they were so on fire. So I thought it would be a good thing to do tonight. And it's another 3-part thing, so I'm just counting on you singing and imagining what the other parts are joining in with yours. And the first part goes like this. There is a tree of dreams, like that, sing it. There is a tree of dreams. Once more, or you can go. There is a tree, don't hurt yourself now, a tree of dreams. That's all you're going to be singing over and over again. For those of you who want to tackle a few more lyrics, the second part goes, some dreams so big, some dreams so small, some dreams far away, some dreams not far at all. Here we go. Some dreams so big, some dreams so small, some dreams far away, some dreams not far at all. Okay, you keep that in your head if that's the part you'd like to have. But now I'm going to give you a third choice. You can sing. Birds singing in the tree, dreams swinging from the tree. Birds singing in the tree, dreams swinging from the tree. Okay, I'm going to sing through all 3. You can jump in anytime you want, do anything you want. You're totally at large in the privacy of your own home. And then I'll throw something in on top of you. There's a tree of dreams. There is a tree of dreams. Some dreams so big, some dreams so small, some dreams far away, some dreams not far at all. Birds singing in the tree, dreams swinging from the tree. Birds singing in the tree, dreams swinging from the tree. Once more, there is a tree. There is a tree of dreams. Well, a few days ago, before the returns of the election came in, and we've been listening nonstop to the stories of the tension and the 50-50, polarity in our country, and totally out of the blue, the song popped into my head that was written by Lead Belly, and I learned it way, way, way back in my early Chicago club days. And I had completely forgotten about it, and it came back into my head like as a piece. So I wanted to wind up with this song tonight, but before I do that, I just want to thank you for joining me for my Wednesday evening musicale. I'm probably going to take a little break, maybe show up right before Thanksgiving, and I have a couple of concerts in December. I'll let you know about that on Facebook. I have a calendar at my website. Oh, also at my website, I have my virtual tip vessel. If you feel like visiting that, I would be delighted and honored and humbled and grateful. I have my CDs there if you're thinking about making purchases for the holiday. You know, sharing my music with your friends, that would be nice. And I pack them all up myself with love and send them off to you. My address is there. You can send me a letter. You can send me an email if you wanna comment. You know, we don't get to talk at concerts anymore, so I've been enjoying hearing from people and getting back to them. So I wanted to mention that. My little break involves I have to take my instruments to the spa. My friend Dave Dick, he's part of the team around Sturbridge, and have a little tune-up done on them. And so the next time you hear them, they're going to be all sparkly, and I'll be all healed up, and we'll all just be amazing. So I'm going to leave you with this great Lead Belly song, and because he nailed it, you know. The Lord looked down from his holy place, said, Lordy me, he did say that, what a sea of space, was about to launch the human race. So we built him a boat with a mixed up crew, with eyes of black and brown and blue. And that's how come that you and I got just one sea with just one sky. Here's the chorus. We're in the same boat, sister. We're in the same boat, brother. And if you shake one end, you're gonna rock the other. It's the same boat, brother. Sing that with me. We're in the same boat, sister. We're in the same boat, brother. And if you shake one end, you're gonna rock the other. It's the same boat, brother. Well, the boat rolled on through storm and grief, hit many a rock and many a reef. What kept them going was a great belief, but they had to learn to navigate that human race of precious freight. If they didn't want to be in Jonah's shoes, they better be mates on this here cruise. We're in the same boat, sister. We're in the same boat, brother. And if you shake one end, you're gonna rock the other. It's the same boat, brother. Come on. We're in the same boat, sister. We're in the same boat, brother. And if you shake one end, you're gonna rock the other. It's the same boat, brother, yeah. We're in the same boat, sister. We're in the same boat. What's bad for the bow ain't good for the stern. When are we gonna learn? Some dreams so big, some dreams so small, some dreams far away, some dreams not far at all. Take care. Thanks. Good night. There is a tree of dreams. There is a tree of dreams. There is a tree of dreams. Some dreams so big, some dreams so small, some dreams far
A tree of dreams so small. There is a dream far away. A tree of dreams not far at all. There is a dream so I dream. A tree of dreams so small. There is a dream far away. A tree of dreams not far at all. There is a tree. There is a tree. A tree. A tree.